So imagine this. There's a screen in front of you. There's a screen in front of every single one of us. And on that screen, we're seeing life projected. We're seeing some good things. We're seeing some really distressing things. We're seeing abuse. We're seeing neglect. We're seeing dictatorship. We're seeing fighting, conflict, love, joy, nature, humans, other humans reflected on that screen. We react to the screen. When we react out of fear and conflict, we stay in our ego mind. We stay in our victim mentality. That's our victim mentality. That is when we're in the least amount of our power. Everything that causes us to stay in fear and conflict keeps us in our victim mind. It keeps us from remembering who we are, and it keeps us from our power. So the people that control the screen want to keep us in that. What they do is they project onto the screen things they want us to be angry at, things they want us to be frightened of. Because by doing that, they stop us from remembering who we are, and they keep us out of our power. Our job is to recognize that when we are in that aspect of ourselves, when our fear and our conflict and our anger and our attack is triggered, we are not in our power. It can feel like we're in our power because we're angry, and it can feel like we're in our power because we want to tear the system down. What we are trying to tear down is an illusion. It's not real. I'm not saying don't react to it. I'm saying it's controlled. It is a controlled projection for you to see specific things to keep you in a specific state. Your power lies in being in charge of what you allow to be projected onto the receiving part in your mind. So you have a controller, you have a projector, you have a receiver. You are in charge of the receiver. More and more of us are starting to realize this. More and more of us are waking up to our power. So the controllers project more and more crazy, more and more conflict. Here, hate these people. Here, hate these people. People who want this, attack people who don't want it. People who don't want it, attack the people who want it. All of the black, the white, the race, the sexism, all of it is an intended program to keep us attacking the projection. Because while we attack the projection, we are not in our power. So your power comes from being in charge of the receiver part. When you take yourself out of the game loses one receiver, and every receiver that it loses power. It is like if a top rating show on TV, if people stopped watching, if I turn off, you turn off, we all start turning off. It no longer has the power over the masses that it once had. It no longer has the power over the culture. It doesn't control the culture narrative. It doesn't become part of our daily lives because we've turned it off. This is the power that you have. You control the receiver, right? Not by pretending it ain't happening, not by completely ignoring everything you see, but by starting to recognize that it is a controlled projection intended to keep you frightened and angry and in conflict, because they're the things that keep you in your ego mind, in your victim mentality, and not in your full power. They keep us attacking each other rather than removing our power from the projector, from the people controlling the projector, and ultimately the game falls apart because we are no longer feeding it. This fear and conflict, this fear porn is seen on both sides. Fear porn is what the ego gets off on, and it doesn't matter what mind it's in. It doesn't matter what your beliefs are. It doesn't matter what side of something you sit on. Your ego gets off on fear and conflict. This is the realm of ego, fear and conflict. It doesn't really live in a world beyond that. It thinks those things will keep you safe. For somebody who buys the whole program about a V and the VXs, their ego is telling them you will die. If you do not get this, you will die. Other people will kill you. You are not safe here. That is what their ego is telling them. For people who don't buy into that part of the program, but buy into the part of the program of the army will hit the streets, they will come to your doors, they will hold you down, they will lock you up. Their ego is telling them, oh my God, I'm not safe. They're going to try and kill me. I won't have enough food. The minute you know you're in scarcity thinking, the minute you know you're in fear, you know you're in your ego. Now, are you misguided? Is that their intention? Of course it's their intention. Of course it's their intention. But we are their food source. I cannot tell you this enough. We are their food source. So you have the controllers, you have the projection screen, you have us all at the mercy of an illusion that we think is real. Our response to it, if we go on the fear and conflict and division and anger, our response to it feeds the tiny little man behind the projector screen that's turning the projection. The energy that goes into the little machine that projects such a big projection that billions of us are under the illusion of is fed by us. We are its food source. Now, there's different ways that you can look at that. I know there's different levels of understanding that people have of that. I just want to talk about the energetics. Energetically, we are its food source every time I feed it with my fear. This is why, turn on your TV. Have a look at all the shows. What do they want you to be? They want you to be frightened. They want you to be angry. They want you to be enraged. They want you to tear things down. They want you to fight each other. They want you to be in conflict. They want you alarmed. They want you alert. Warning, alert, be alarmed, be aware. They want your nervous system pinging constantly, heightened. In all those situations, you are in your victim mind. So, because you know that's what they want, then I can guarantee you that's because that's what feeds the system and keeps it alive. So it's not enough just to turn your TV off. It's important that you walk this fine balance of, okay, I'm aware. I'm aware of what their intended outcome is. I am aware of what they're trying to bring into the narrative, of what they want us to play out for them. And I remove my food source from it. I act from my power, I act from my wisdom, I act from my awareness, I act from my awake self. In every situation, I make sure, as much as I am able to be awake, that I remember that I control the receiver. And when I don't let them project their fear onto me, then I am in my power. When I don't let them project their conflict onto me, when I don't let them tell me who to hate, who to fear, when I don't let them tell me what to think, when I don't let them tell me what my future will be, when I don't even let them tell me what my current state, what my present is, then I am in control, I am in charge, and I am a sovereign being. And that is the biggest thing they fear. And that is the thing they want to stop. Because when enough of us go, I'm turning off, the game ends. Much love.